In a country where silence was safer than truth, a young journalist named Daniel refused to look away. This country lived in apparent tranquility, but that tranquility was only a mask. Conversations were whispered, eyes turned aside, and everyone knew there were things better left unsaid. The walls had ears, they said, and those ears belonged to those in power. Newspapers repeated official speeches, television channels broadcast frozen smiles, and schools taught a carefully rewritten history. Children learned to recite slogans rather than ask questions. Adults had learned to protect themselves by silencing their thoughts. But behind this apparent calm, fear reigned. The rulers had built a system where truth was considered a threat. Citizens had internalized this tacit rule. To speak is to risk. Daniel was only 26 years old, young, ambitious, driven by a deep conviction. The people deserved the truth. While others chose comfort, he chose courage. He had grown up in a modest family, in a neighborhood where children played ball in narrow alleys, but where adults spoke little of politics. His father, a laborer, often told him, "Here, it's better to work hard and stay quiet." His mother, a schoolteacher, told him, "Words are powerful, but they can also cost you dearly." Yet Daniel had always felt that silence was an invisible prison. At university, he became passionate about journalism. He believed that the role of a journalist was not to repeat what power wanted to hear, but to seek what the people had the right to know. His professors found him brilliant, but some advised him not to expose himself too much. His classmates admired him, but many preferred safer careers. Daniel chose the riskiest path. He investigated corruption hidden behind elegant speeches and powerful smiles. He uncovered embezzled public funds, secret deals, and leaders who betrayed those they had promised to protect. His loved ones warned him, "Stop, it's dangerous." But Daniel believed that freedom is not given, it is defended. The more he published, the greater the pressure became. Anonymous threats multiplied. Letters slipped under his door, late-night calls where a voice whispered, "You should stop." Surveillance became constant. He noticed silhouettes behind him, cars that seemed to follow him. They even tried to bribe him, to buy him off. They offered him money, a comfortable position, a quiet life, but he refused everything. For him, truth was not for sale. His articles spread quickly. Young people shared them on social networks. Older generations recognized their own struggles in them. In other countries, citizens saw the same reality. Injustice changes its face, but remains injustice. Daniel's words crossed borders, translated, repeated, discussed. He became a voice that could no longer be ignored. Then, one evening, Daniel disappeared. He had left his office late after rereading an investigation he was preparing. His colleagues had seen him leave, his bag on his shoulder, his gaze tired but determined. He never arrived home. The next day, the news shook the nation. Social networks caught fire. Foreign newspapers began to relay the story. He had been silenced, but not defeated. For something unexpected happened. His final investigation, scheduled in advance, was published. It revealed everything: corruption, lies, the system built on oppression. The evidence was irrefutable: official documents, testimonies, recordings. The story crossed borders, protests erupted. Journalists around the world repeated his name, citizens demanded accountability. Daniel had paid the highest price, but his sacrifice had ignited a spark. In the streets, thousands of people carried placards with his face. In universities, students read his articles aloud. In cafes, conversations resumed, freer, bolder. His name became a symbol, a banner. Freedom and oppression run through all generations and all countries. Each era must choose between fear and courage. The price of freedom is high, but the price of silence is even heavier. And sometimes it takes only one courageous voice to remind the world that truth cannot be buried forever.